I've covered MailerPress several times on this channel, and today we're going to cover what I would consider to be the most important update they've brought to the platform since it was launched. Now, I grabbed this on the lifetime deal when it was originally launched. I paid for this out of my own pocket. They haven't gifted me anything, so there's no link there. I've paid the same as you if you bought this. But the cool thing about this new update in 2.0 is the fact that we don't only have automation, we can also tie this into our AI tool of choice and get that to do the heavy lifting for us. So in this video, I'm going to show you how you can do it manually and how you can use the AI to take care of all the things that you need it to do. So once you've installed MailerPress and the Pro version, then we're going to come into the MailerPress section, and from there, we're going to come over into automations, the new feature in 2.0. That will then take us into the automation dashboard. We've got three different sections here. The performance dashboard, which gives us an overview of the performance of our automations. So things like success rate, number of contacts, number of executions, and so on. We've also got all automations where we can see all the automations we have set up. I've got a couple of draft ones here when I've been testing things out. And we've also got pre-made workflows. So there's some very common use cases like welcoming new subscribers, new purchasers, those kinds of things. So if you want to use one of these, you can absolutely use these to get started. As you can see, things are broken down to onboarding, nurturing, organization, and A/B testing. Let's create one from here to see how the sequence works. Then we'll jump into the AI method. So let's say we want to welcome new subscribers. This is a two-step process. So we're going to open up the template, and that will then take us into the workflow. Now you can see if you've ever used any kind of automation tool in the past, you'll see this is very, very familiar. Everything is broken down into two simple steps. A trigger causes the action or multiple actions to take place. So the trigger in this example is that the contact has subscribed to the list. So if we click and open this up, over on the right-hand side, there's all our settings. So you can see it tells us the contact subscribed, so triggered when a new contact subscribes to MailerPress, etc., etc. Subscription status, we can configure that they are only going to be subscribed. And then we can choose the list that we want to target. In this case, I've just got the default list, but you may have multiple. And then if you want to work with tags, you can do that here. So let's say they just sign up as a general subscriber. So the trigger has now been configured. Next up, let's click on the action. As you can see, in this case, the action is to do something simple like send an email. So you can see if we go over to the right-hand side again, you can see this is our next step. It's an action. It's to send an email. We've got to design our email, then we can send it. Then we've got things like your email name, recipient email, subject, and so on. Create your email, click. Start from scratch, or we can use one from here. So we can say there's a welcome email. Let's go with that as a starting point. Then if you want to edit this, you can come into the editor and you have all those familiar tools for creating inside a very Gutenberg-centric setup. So all the options on the left-hand side, the different blocks we can target inside here. Let's say we're happy with this and we've just finished doing it. Let's close this down. There's our email. Let's go back to our sequence. And we can see now that the action has turned green because we completed what we want there. And if we want to, we can specify some more options. So under the automation tab, you can see run once per subscriber. Obviously, we don't want to send them a welcome email a second or third time. So we'll say yes, just one time. And if we want to add additional steps in, we can do that. We can add it before the trigger. We can add it after the trigger. We can even use the option to work with AI, provided we've got it connected up. Again, like I say, we'll leave the AI for now. But if you want to add another step in, you can click on add step. And inside here, we've got things like weights, conditions. So we can do different things like add a tag, remove a tag, add to list, remove from list, create new users, create campaigns, A/B testing, and so on. So for example, we may say after that first email, we'll wait. We'll specify how long that wait is. So we'll say they're going to wait for 1 week. Then we're going to send them another email. So we'll say send an email. And you go through and add your email in. If you want to add additional things in, like for example, conditions, we can choose that from here. And we can say what's condition does have to be met. As you can see, conditions must be configured, so we can add a condition. So we can say select a field. We'll say user subscription status, for example, is equal to subscribed. add another condition in, blah, blah, blah. So we can set up the conditions here. And again, we can use AI as part of these steps. So by using these automation options, you can very quickly and easily create sequences that can be as simple as just sending an email when someone subscribes to far more comprehensive using conditional logic and so on. So that's really useful to have that inside you. And if you want to work manually or you want to work with the templates, you can absolutely do that. But now let's take a look at how we can do this using AI. So let's jump back into the MailerPress dashboard. Now what we need to do is come into the settings section, and inside there you can see there's a new setting called AI settings. Open this up. So inside here we can set up two different things. We can set up what we want to use for our text and what we want to use for our image generation. So for my text I'm using OpenAI. I've dropped in my model and the OpenAI key that I want to use. As you come over to image, you can see I'm just using Gemini image, and I popped in some basic info inside there, just using a free account. But you can use OpenAI, Mistral, DeepSeek, Claude, Anthropic, Gemini. So you've got more options depending on what you actually want to use. Once that's done, hit Save Settings, and you have your AI connected. Now we can come back out of here, go back into our automations. This time come into all automations. And we'll say new automation and say create with AI. So now we can come in and we can just type in exactly what we want. But we also have the option, if we press the /, we have a lot of prompts already created for us. Now, some of these are going to probably mimic what you see inside the templates, but you can see there's a lot here, including very specific ones if you're working with things like WooCommerce, or you're working with organizations, A/B testing, events, campaigns, feedback. If you're working with SureCart, hopefully this will also expand to FluentCart, so we have more options when it comes to e-commerce solutions. But let's just say we want to do something like, when concept subscribes, wait 30 days, send a how are we doing survey, wait 3 days, then send a thank you with a discount. Let's choose that, and let's just say we're happy with that. If you want to embellish this, you absolutely can. Just let's say 14 days instead of 30. And we'll say wait 2 days, send a thank you with a discount. And we'll say 20% off their next order. So let's say generate our workflow. That's going to go through and connect up via the API to our AI tool of choice. Then it comes back with the structure. So you can see there's our trigger, contact subscribes, wait 14 days, send an email, wait 2 days, send another email. If you want to start over, you absolutely can do. You can say create your workflow. That will now create that workflow for us. And now we can customize this as we see fit. So like we saw before, there's our trigger. Open it up. There's the trigger. If we want to customize and tweak this, we can do. So let's say default list, and we're going to say this is a general subscriber again. Wait 14 days is set up. Click to design our email, so we can customize and design our email like I've just showed you. Then there's our delay like we saw. Then there's another action which says thank you and send out a discount code. The email name and everything is all set up inside here. So all those steps are done for us. If you want to expand upon this, you can have the add steps with AI. So again, we can come in, we can prompt the AI to do what we wanted to do and add extra steps in that method as well. So you can do manual, you can do AI, you can do a hybrid approach, whatever you want to do. So this opens up now a lot more options when it comes to working with MailerPress and makes this a truly usable email platform that goes beyond just sending simple emails out. Automations, when it comes to email marketing, are the backbone of that system. So having that now built into 2.0 means that we can start using this for far more advanced use cases. That's one of the reasons why I haven't personally used it on any commercial sites myself, but now I will be testing this out on a couple of my own sites to get a real feel for how it all works. But as always, I pass the question over to you. Have you tried MailerPress? Did you grab the lifetime deal when it was originally released? Let me know in the comment section down below your experience. As always, all applicable links are in the description down below. My name is Paul C. This is WPTuts. Until next time, take care.